Hi guys! So I'm back with a bite-sized art project today. So what I've started with is just a canvas board. You can use paper, you can use canvas, any flat surface really. I've painted it this kind of ombre from teal to blue, just so that what we're doing will show up on it really well for you. The other things we're going to need is, you can do this on construction paper, you can do it on anything. The other thing we're going to need is some just cheap plastic packaging. This is a good way to recycle. So I had gotten these stencils, I don't know, a couple months ago probably. So I'm going to discard the cardboard, and what I'm looking to use is the plastic. So you want, some thicker plastic. It doesn't have to be clear. I'm going to try to get this tag off of here. You can use the cellophane gift wrap as long as it's the thicker kind, which is my favorite to use for henna. But you can just reuse old wrapper. I've seen people reuse chip bag foil from chip bags and stuff like that for this too. So you can use any kind of like thick plasticky kind of material. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this into maybe, I don't know what I would say, maybe a 6x6 square. It does not have to be precise at all, but you do want it to be a square. See, I still have two sides that are connected. I want to cut those off so that we just have one sheet of this plastic. So if you cut it like I did, you'll have two sheets that are the same size, like so. Now mine also has this little hole here from where it was hanging at the store. I'm going to cut that down. We don't need that hole. So you want two solid sheets of plastic, basically, like so, okay? And really, we only need one at the moment. So I have one piece of cellophane plastic here. Then we're going to also need some Scotch tape. The clear kind is better. It holds better than the, the cloudy, transparent, that kind. We want the one that's clear, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to take a small piece of that tape like that. And I'm sorry, there's paint all over my hands. I'm also working on a piece for the gallery here. So that's green spray paint from that. But anyway, and I'm sorry if I'm shivering. I've turned the heat off here at the shop because I'm not open and trying to save money, of course, on utilities while I'm not technically open. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a cone out of this, okay? It's going to end up looking a bit like a small piping bag that you would pipe icing out of. This is the exact same way that you would make a cone for henna as well. So we're going to take this corner here. We're going to roll it to the inside. We're going to keep a hold of it at the bottom, and we're going to keep pulling it and tightening it until we get the size that we want. See the cone here? I want it to be a little bit tighter if I can. So I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to take this corner, roll it to the inside. So you want a tighter end here and a wider end up here, like a cone. Until you're about that width here. You're going to take that tape and you're going to tape it closed down towards the bottom, like so. Try to make that as smooth as you can, and you'll have this little flap here. You're going to want to tape that down as well. Just a small piece of tape for that, just like so. Roll that tape around so it's nice and smooth. You see that? And we've got this open end here, okay? Now I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. So I'm going to roll my other cone right quick. So you can see that one more time also. So here's my second piece of plastic, right? I'm going to do, I'm going to roll this corner up in. Keep rolling it and tightening it till I get it where I want it. Tape down that bottom edge. Roll it closed. Make sure we don't have that flap sticking up. I roll them a little bit smaller for my henna, but you get the idea here. So there's my second cone, okay? So I have two. The first one I'm going to fill up with regular acrylic paint. This is the same brand we've been using for all of our bite-sized art projects. This came in a kit of like 36 or something. It was a huge kit that was dirt cheap. So this is just regular acrylic craft paint. What we're going to do is fill up this cone. I'm doing a light color, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Actually, I'll do this over this, so you can maybe see a little better what I'm doing. I'm squeezing that paint into the cone. Don't need a lot. See how that is? Okay, I'm going to tap it. Then I'm going to close the top. Okay, it's like I've already got some coming out. You want to make that hole as small as you can at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to fold it. Gonna fold it. This is why you don't fill it all the way to the top. I'm gonna fold it down. I'm gonna get a piece of tape. I'm gonna tape it across here, wrap it around. Another piece of tape ready. And I'm gonna keep folding it down till about there. And I'm going to do one more piece of tape for reinforcement. And tape that around the sides, just like that. You can see I've got a little paint coming out of this already. That's just fine. Got a towel here. I'll wipe that up so I'm not making a mess. And set this to the side, okay? Second way we can do, take our other cone. The second way we can do it is with puffy paint. This like tulip puffy paint you can find at Meijer, Walmart, craft store, just about anywhere. And get it open here. So if anybody has seen the design that is on my car, on my black Charger, that was done with puffy paint. And it seems like it wouldn't hold up in all of the elements, but it's been through at least 2 winters and summers, maybe longer, and it holds up just fine. It just looks like a really cool decal, okay? And it's removable if you want to remove it. I had it on my old Jeep. There's still designs on my old Jeep, and I have it on my Charger. So if you're brave enough to do henna on your car, you can have some really cool stuff going on. So this I'm going to squeeze into this cone, if I can get it going. I think I need to come on. It's a little dried in there. There it goes. Had to get it unclogged. Okay. Now this comes out a little slower because it's a small tube. And it's obviously thicker because it's puffy paint. you can see I'm just squeezing it into the cone and tapping it so it goes down. That's probably enough for demonstration. You can get a lot of work out of one of these things with puffy paint for sure. Okay. I'm going to squeeze that down so it goes down into the tube there, okay? And then we're going to tape this one closed just like we did the last one. Okay. Okay, so now we have a cone of puffy paint. So our regular paint is a cream color and our puffy paint is white. This is what we're going to do our demonstration on. So it's dark so you can see the paint well. And we're going to do some simple elements. First thing I'm going to do is grab my towel so I can make sure that it's flowing well. And so I'm going to squeeze it just like that, just like you're writing, but don't squeeze too hard, okay? The lighter you squeeze, the thinner your line. The harder you squeeze, the thicker your line. You don't need to drag the cone like this across your piece. You just need to barely touch. And first we're going to do a couple dots just to see how we can control the paint. This is regular acrylic paint. Okay. Then we're going to try a line and see how well we can control our hand. If you're working on something that you don't want to lean on, hold your wrist like this to steady. And pipe out your line that way. Some more henna style elements would be like a flower, okay? Henna flower would start with maybe a spiral in the center like that. And you can build off of that with some little humps or petals, tiny little ones like that. And you can build out from there. You can do some pointy petals. The fun is in the practice. You want to practice as much as possible. This is a good way to practice henna without using expensive henna for your practice. So there's some petals. We can make some bigger petals over there and just keep building this flower out. You can build a mandala the exact same way. Just adding shapes around shapes around shapes. Then you can do some leaves. For very thin lines, you can actually drag and not squeeze at all. You can do shading that way as well. I'll do a couple leaves here. And I'll show you. Shading is just basically scratching the residual paint across without adding any more extra product on there. You can do some vines like so. You can do some vine down here like so. Okay. You can do geometric shapes. So you could do a couple lines, do maybe some triangles in that line. You could fill in every other triangle. Come up with a design like that. You can come down and do some of those humps. And it takes a lot of practice to get them even. But pretend you have an imaginary line going across here, and you're only making your humps up to that line. That'll help to get them a little more even. And you can do some dots. So the elements of henna are just building off of each other. Building off the elements, filling in negative space, creating negative space. It's really just like, what would look good after this, you know? And giving it a shot. So this is the perfect way to practice henna. You can do some really small dips like that and pull it out like a tear. That you can pipe a shape like say a heart. Okay. And then challenge yourself to fill the heart with designs. Spirals are very big in henna. Paisleys. Peacock feathers are very big. Lots of dots, lots of vines, lots of flowers. There are several different styles you can do. Some of the African henna is very geometric and linear and beautiful. So there is your designs with regular paint, okay? And as you see, as it dries, it will flatten. Show you here. It will flatten, it will not stand up as much, but it stands out really nice on this dark background. So that's your regular acrylic paint. Now let's give the puffy paint a shot here. We'll do that down here. And it's the exact same idea. See, this one's packed a little tighter. If it's packed a little tight, you can just cut the tiniest little bit off of the tip. Don't cut too much. You'll have too much coming out at once. You want it to be really small. You see? And let's see, we'll start with our dots. And you'll see dots with puffy paint will stay standing up instead of going flat. Okay? Everything pretty much will, because it's puffy. And there's our lines. Okay, let's do our flower. Spiral. Little baby bump petals. Now the thing with puffy paint is it can sometimes get an air bubble in it, so make sure you poke that air bubble out, because it'll stay. Our pointy petals. Then we'll do our bigger petals. When you're first starting out, you won't do this as quickly as I am. I've been doing it for a long time. But take your time, it's cool. Practice, practice, practice. And you'll be surprised at what you can come up with and come up with your own style. There's our leaf. There's another leaf. You can do shading with the puffy paint as well. It's just the designs are going to be more dimensional with puffy paint. Do not do the acrylic paint and puffy paint on your skin. I repeat, do not do it on your skin. If you get your hands on some all-natural henna and you have permission from your parents and all of that, then do it on your skin. Do not do it with paint. You can try to do it with body paint, but it just isn't really thick enough to work very well. But you can give it a shot. We're going to try our sort of armband design here. Even paint that says it's non-toxic isn't necessarily meant to lay on your skin for any period of time, okay? So don't do that. Shade those in. Okay. Then these little bump guys and our teardrops. So very much like icing a cake, only kind of in miniature. Both of these will take a little while to dry. Let them dry, give them time. It's going to depend on the temperature where you're at, how quickly they dry. Okay, let's do our heart. The more you practice, the more you can figure out how to do thinner lines and all kinds of things. So here's our designs. This is regular acrylic paint. This is puffy paint. Hopefully you can see that dimension there in the puffy paint. It'll stay like that, whereas the regular paint is going to flatten out. Okay, this was just on a canvas board. You can do it on paper. You can do it on anything that you like. It's great if you can recycle plastic to do this. So instead of throwing all of that away, well, we'll eventually have to throw this away too, but we've got to use it for something else. Yeah, so that's the bite-sized art for today. If you practice doing your henna designs, send me pictures. I would love to see it. So upcoming in the summer, this will be a lot of fun to do. And yeah, maybe we'll have another bite-sized art where we're actually doing henna, okay? Hope you guys are staying safe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.